be prepared, be victorious.
Preparedness.
Be more prepared physically, mentally, spiritually, and logistically with Deercreek Society. Be confident, be prepared, be victorious. So we started preparing in 2007. We had a son on the way, and my wife Katie and I decided to start preparing. And it's not only just logistically with different things that we needed around the house to have, but also financially. There's so many different ways you can prepare physically, mentally, all those different ways. So when we found out we had a child on the way, we decided we need to start getting everything together, get everything in line. I know a lot of people are prepared beforehand, but we, of course, weren't. So that got us into the realm of preparations and proper preparations. So after we found out about the baby and everything, we decided to get everything together. And I was going through Sam's Club one day, and I found the book 1 Second After. So I picked it up, and I flipped through it and read what it was kind of about, and we decided to go ahead and pick it up and get it. And so we purchased that, and I took it home, and I read it in like a day and a half. It's a really great book, and it talked about what would happen in this country if there was ever an EMP or a CME, and it frightened me to know that there is something like that out there that could happen if the sun ever had a coronal mass ejection that could wipe out the nation's power grid or the world's power grid, depending on where it struck. That was something that concerned me because it's something that probably could very well happen one day because it's happened in the past before. Also, the threat of an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse, where someone detonates a nuclear device up above us or a certain level up in the atmosphere, and it also destroys a nation's power grid or whatever was down below it through an EMP blast. And so reading about that and reading about how from water supply, how everything is just ran by next day resupply and things like that, I was like, man, we are a very fragile system. And the only way that we would be able to fix that is if us as individuals come together and we start working towards our goals of being more prepared individually. Because anytime you want to start something, you got to start it yourself individually. I believe that. So we became more prepared, and we want to encourage other people to become more prepared so that later on down the road when our kids are older, we can make sure that they have what they need in place and they learn the skills that they need to know so that when anything ever happens like this, we would be prepared for it. We can harden the grid to where it won't affect us as badly. We can make sure that we know how to grow food. We can already grow food, make sure we're doing everything right. We can be better. So in 2007, they had a lot of wild and crazy things going on, from tsunamis, earthquakes. Also, we had the presidential election coming up next, where there's all sorts of talk and wild and crazy things going on at that time. Being in the gun business, we knew that it was a very wild climate for selling firearms and the political instability there that was going on at the time back then. And we were also about to have our baby. We were really young. I was 19 when I had my first child, and my wife was 18. So we started really young. So getting prepared was something that we really needed to do, and that spurred it all for us there, getting serious about it. And it's a very special thing being a father, and it makes you think about the future a whole lot. It makes you think about what kind of world we're going to be leaving behind for our kids, and building kids that are strong and ready to tackle the challenges that we're going to face and they're going to face in the future. And also being smart, being loving, being kind. So growing up, we were very involved with firearms. We had our own family gun shop, and we still do to this day. And so growing up in that environment made me make sure that we are prepared, because you see so many bad news articles online every day and in the news to where someone got murdered, somebody got stabbed, somebody got ran over with a car or truck or whatever it might be. And it makes you wonder, well, what am I going to do to be prepared and have something to defend myself with? So growing up in the environment like that, made me want to be prepared also. And I want to make sure that if anything like that ever happened, like a lifeguard overwatches a pool, I want to be one of those people who's able to go out there and help people. Save the day, if you will. I want us to save the day when a disaster strikes, doing things that help people, and create a society of prepared individuals that have the skill sets they need to go out there and help people through those hard times. Prepared physically, mentally, spiritually, all these things play a part in our children's future. And I want to encourage everybody out there that has a kid or just enjoys life to prepare so that we can get through it together. And that's what Deercreek Society is all about. People coming together, learning new things, preparing, learning from history, learning from all the different times in the past where things have happened, see what went right, see what went wrong, discuss new ideas in a friendly environment to where we're not going to be bashing each other or anything like that. That's what Deercreek Society is all about. Thanks for watching. Be confident, be prepared, be victorious.